Hello guys, according to the official data, this November turned out to be the worst for the Russian army since the start of the full-scale invasion. Of course, right now we observe how they lose military control in Syria and desert military bases there. We watch how they lose political control in Georgia, but most importantly, they lost 45,700 people in just 1 month. This is a new, bloody, dark record broken by the Russian invaders. And another one, minus 2,030 people in 1 day. Insane. Frightening. But not the things they do, but the way they treat their own army, their own people. And according to the preliminary estimates, they've lost a lot of weapons equipment and it cost Russia $3 billion. $3 billion in just 1 month, and all of that in the context of tremendous Russian economy collapse. So let's discuss what is wrong with Russian people that they accept this kind of losses, both political, economical, but most importantly in manpower. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the demilitarization of Russia, that's the only way to save the planet and people on it, and also protect yourself against evil narratives and hybrid warfare that unfortunately is present literally almost in every country of the world, subscribe, we will discuss all of that on the channel. So according to the official data, Russian losses, they were always striking, but this November turned out to be the bloodiest. Minus 45,720 people. That is like an ordinary city somewhere in Europe. And minus 2,030 in just 1 day. Simply imagine that. And these are no more just the Russian soldiers, but the North Korean soldiers. You know that one precise storm shadow strike in Kursk on their military headquarters neutralized approximately 500 North Koreans. There are reports that they desert their front lines just as Russian military desert their positions in Syria. Because what is happening right now is definitely crazy and insane. In total, Russian losses since the start of war are equal to 740,400 people. Well, like 1 million soon. And taking into account that they want to take back some of Kursk territories before the January 2025 and the new US president, well, I'm sure they can actually reach this million by January, February. Just visualize like 1 million people for nothing, and 1 million people that agreed to do that, and many more people in Russia that accept that. Because all of these Russian losses are losses not just for Putin, but for their families, their offices, their companies, and there are no protests, there are no objections. They are just like this, magical animals that follow the pipe. I don't know what's the expression for that, but I'm sure you remember the fairy tale. And most importantly, this costs not just human lives. In Russia, they never care much about that, but also enormous amounts of dollars, not rubles, because literally you cannot buy bananas or butter anymore with rubles. And we have a lot of videos recently about the collapse of the Russian bank system and economy and ruble, and I will connect it here. And remember to subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine and to share these videos on your social media platforms. So according to this preliminary data, in this bloody November, Russians spent, can you say spent, like also lost $3 billion, We have destroyed, and these are good news, 307 tanks, 884 artillery systems, 899 various armored vehicles. And this is great because we make our territory safer. We save Ukrainian lives. You know, typically such videos attract comments of people who either support Russia or who are artificial intelligence hired to do the job. So the very huge difference that I want to stress here is Ukrainians defend their motherland. We stand for our cities, our hospitals, our schools, our memories, and our future. And Russians come here as criminals, and every Russian that crosses the border of the internationally recognized Ukraine breaks the law and becomes an invader. An invader must be neutralized. But I don't understand what must be in the heads of these people and their families that they allow such huge losses for their own manpower. We don't have a choice. This is an existential fight to survive. People on the temporarily occupied territories are tortured and executed. It's not about the change of something minor, it's about the survival. And Russians, they come to loot, rape, kill, and die. And if you have a look at just these gloomy statistics, approximately they lose 1.5 thousand people per day. So imagine how many more they need on a daily basis. And that's why we have thousands of North Koreans coming. People literally from every corner of the world, poorer countries, are deceived by Russian propaganda and travel once again to die on the front lines for nothing. And right now we observe a serious collapse of the Russian military system in Syria. They abandoned military bases, they abandoned their vehicles. So the losses, Russian losses in money, are tremendous this November. And I don't know why global newspapers do not shout about that. They may concentrate on a new village that was encircled by the Russian troops. And you know, I've decided to be brutally honest with you. So this November, when Russians decided to sacrifice almost 50,000 of their soldiers and $3 billion, they got 574 kilometers of Ukraine. That is a lot, but that is tremendously not what Russia wants, because you've heard about their plan that they want to get on these administrative borders of Donetsk region. Do you know how many more kilometers they need to get to this Donetsk region? Just one region. Attention, Ukraine has a lot of them. So just one region. They need 8,000 more. 8,000 more. So at least a year left to reach the borders of Donetsk region. And like 1 million more Russians? What is bad in this situation that they are ready, and North Koreans are ready, because authoritarian regimes do not value human life. But I am surprised to see that European, American newspapers do not report about human lives that much, but concentrate on the front line, which actually, if we look from the perspective of human losses, did not change that much at all. Please help me send this message together with another most important conclusion. We need to defeat and demilitarize Russia for the survival of Russians including. Because this is insane what this country does right now to the world, to Ukrainians, to Syrians, to Georgians, but also to Russians. And Russians are so traumatized that they don't even understand it. And after the defeat, demilitarization, Putin's and the gang imprisonment, we will have decades of de-zombifying work and psychological support, hopefully performed not by Ukrainians, because kinda we need some rest after that. Please help us defeat this evil sooner and support our Force NAFO campaign. And you are amazing people, because we have just $10,000 left to fulfill the dream of the very beautiful and very brave 67th Brigade. A pickup truck and drones, drones and drones. You know, they do a lot of good work, so we need that and we can do it. And the patches are the best. Let's make Russia small again and we can do it. Please, I was just like praying for that. I had 2 hours without electricity today, so I was a bit concentrated on the things we need to do to win faster and have this electricity 24/7. So please do support. Here I provide a link to our NAFO campaign. And remember, today is the last day of -15% in our merch shop, where you can actually get a lot of great Christmas presents that also work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Join me on Instagram, X, Threads, Discord, and our Blue Skies community grows quickly and seems like very promising. And also thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, but most importantly, thank you for being my friends, friends of Ukraine, and standing together against this evil. Slava Ukraini!